Guys, our friends at Keeps cannot wait to get you looking and feeling good this summer. Keeps is an online subscription service that makes it easy and affordable for men to treat male pattern balding from the comfort of their home. So many guys start to lose their hair and they lose their confidence because of it. Not anymore. The best thing about Keeps is how affordable and discreet their process is. Keeping your hair is now super accessible. Keeps offers treatments that are clinically proven to work. Keeps has both of the FDA-approved hair loss treatment options, as well as a 2-in-1 treatment that combines both treatments. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of the hair that you have, Keeps has you covered. Keeps has helped nearly 1 million men to keep their hair. And they've got over 5,000 5-star reviews. I'd say you can't go wrong with Keeps. Hair loss stops with Keeps. For a special offer to get you started, go to keeps.com/Chael Sonnen. Or just click on the link I put in the description. That's KEEPS.com/Chael Sonnen. You know, I never knew that I hate agreeing with Michael Bisping. Like, I didn't know that about myself. I love Michael Bisping. But when Michael gets one right before I get one right, I gotta tell you, like, I feel a little something inside. And Michael just put out a piece. And all he was talking about is that he likes Colby Covington's call out of Charles Oliveira. Simple statement. But I just appreciate that he did that, because Michael can be very critical. And I appreciate that he stepped forward and put his name on that before anybody else, because he's right. I mean, there's really nothing more fun for us as fans. Can we agree on this? As us as fans, you want to know what we love, guys? Parity. When we can get a match that we never knew we could get. There has been MMA organizations. This is a uniqueness to Dana White, exclusive and only. I don't care if it's boxing or you're wrestling or you're doing the unified rules of MMA. There is no promoter anywhere. There is promotions that have gone under because they lose their main event. Dana has lost his main event after putting millions of dollars in marketing that just got lit on fire. He has changed his main event and fallen forward. There's something about the parity of us being able to get something that we weren't expecting. Can we agree on that? And I could give a lot of examples. I mean, I could just give you the night that Chad Mendes fought Conor McGregor, and it ended up doing higher than the projections for Conor versus Jose. And Conor versus Jose was going to be the greatest featherweight fight of all time, but there was just something about it. And I remember where I was when I got that news. And I remember thinking, for everything you're thinking about, it's going to be the striking battle between Jose and Conor, and all of a sudden it's not. It's going to be Conor's Achilles heel, which is going to be an all-American wrestler. It was just a fascinating thing. I used that as a jumping off point because we never thought we could get Colby and Charles. We never thought of getting Colby and Charles. It came from absolutely out of nowhere. Colby breaks rules in this sport all the time. He does things that they say, you can't do that. A 170-pounder cannot call out a 155-pounder. That's a rule in this sport. Now, the 55-pounder can call it a 70-pounder, right? Alex Pereira can call out Tom Aspinall, and we can all want to see it. But Tom can't take to the media and do this whole big thing about it, even though he would like the spot at the top of the bill at 300. Like, there's rules in the sport. Colby breaks them all the time, and this is great. Colby nailed this call out. Here's the thing. This is a little bit different perspective than Michael Bisping came from. And yes, I'm aware I'm a homer. And yes, you're fine to leave in the comment sections that Chael's rules that are okay for Colby that aren't good for anybody else. It's all true. It's all true. But there's a couple of guys. Dustin Poirier's one of them. I mean, there's a couple of guys that live on an island alone. George Masvidal was one of them. Anybody with the last name of Diaz, Conor McGregor, and frankly, I can't really think of anyone else ever in the history of the sport that live on this weird island where the only thing you're going to get in the UFC is champions and contenders. As soon as you have proven that you can never be champion, which means that you're not a contender, your time in the company is gone. It's a very hard and fast rule. But then you have this other category right? You got your top draws and your main events. You got all these different things. But then you have this other category, as small as it is, of stars. You have guys that people want to see. And the outcome of their match does not dictate or determine their standing within the business. It is the rarest air that you can get. Being a main eventer is likely to never happen to you. Getting a title fight is likely to never happen to you. Becoming champion, like Kenny Florin had a great line one time. He said, "We don't all get to be champion." Like when Kenny retired, he did it at peace. He was at peace with it. But I remember when he said that, because Kenny is as competitive as anybody I have ever met. But he understood. We don't all get to be champion, right? There's opportunity. There's happenstance. There's opinion. There's the fight itself. There's the DNA you were willing. It was this really great statement. And I bring that to you because you then have one other category, which is star, which is it's just this island and nobody's really out there. Colby Covington's career is a riddle. It truly is. This is the guy that beat the BMF champion, but never became the BMF champion. This is the guy that won the interim championship, never lost it, woke up one day and no longer had it. This is the guy that is the clearest #1 contender our industry's ever seen. Feel free to argue. I don't think that argument's ever been put out there, so I don't think that anyone is going to argue with me. But when Colby Covington was ranked #1 in the world, right? He was the clearest, the field of Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington. Those guys stood so far above the rest, and you couldn't get him a title shot. I mean, it was one of these things that, yes, I do think he goes into the category of star. Yes, he's going to promote that in ways that some are going to embrace and some are going to get nervous about, but it's going to be something special. And calling out Charles Oliveira, which, by the way, is not a fight that I believe he's going to get. But the idea and the concept, I'm fully behind, because what Colby's doing is he's trying to remind everybody what we all claim to know, which is we're going to make the biggest fights that people want to see. And he's reminding you that some of the biggest fights that people want to see, some of the super fights, some of this parody that you got to come up with that's a little outside the box, isn't always about a title and a contendership. And he's right. And it's a rare thing. And very few guys get there, right? Again, the McGregors, the Diaz boys. Poirier is on his way over there. George Masvidal got to it. But the guy that beat the BMF, the guy that never lost the intro, I mean, the clearest top contender during his era, not for nothing, he belongs in the canoe headed to that island. And if there's only room for one, because Charles Oliveira belongs there too. So if one of them's got to push the other one out, I say, let's get on with it.